Have you ever noticed that time passes whether you grow or not? Years move forward, days fill with activity, and yet many people remain exactly the same inside. They gain experience but not wisdom. They live through events but never truly learn from them. This is where the law of reflection begins. Before we go deeper, if you're someone who wants growth that lasts not just motivation, but understanding, I invite you to subscribe and stay with this journey. Because reflection is not about slowing life down. It's about making sure your life is actually teaching you something. The fourth law of growth teaches a simple but powerful truth. Experience alone does not make you grow, reflection does. Time is neutral. It doesn't improve you, and it doesn't damage you. What shapes you is how you interpret and learn from what happens to you. Many people believe that if they just keep moving, working, and living, growth will naturally happen. But without reflection, life becomes repetition. The same mistakes return. The same emotional reactions repeat. The same patterns show up in relationships, work, and personal decisions. Reflection is what interrupts these cycles. Reflection is the intentional act of pausing to ask meaningful questions. Not questions of blame, but questions of understanding. What did this situation teach me? Why did I react the way I did? What worked? What didn't? What should change next time? These questions transform events into lessons. One reason reflection is so rare is because modern life rewards speed. We are taught to move quickly, produce constantly, and stay busy. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Silence feels unproductive. But growth does not happen in noise. Growth happens when the mind is calm enough to observe itself. The law of reflection teaches that growth happens between events, not during them. Success without reflection can lead to pride. Failure without reflection can lead to bitterness. But when reflection is present, success produces humility, and failure produces wisdom. Two people can go through the same experience. One grows, the other doesn't. The difference is not intelligence, talent, or opportunity. The difference is reflection. Growth does not come from what happens to you, but from what you learn about yourself when it happens. Reflection allows you to recognize patterns. You begin to see repeated behaviors, repeated fears, repeated decisions. This awareness gives you choice. Without reflection, life controls you. With reflection, you begin to control your direction. Another key principle of this law is that reflection creates alignment. When you pause to reflect, you notice where your actions align with your values and where they don't. This clarity strengthens integrity and prevents inner conflict. Reflection also deepens emotional intelligence. It helps you understand your triggers, your reactions, and your emotional habits. Instead of blaming circumstances or other people, reflection brings responsibility back to where growth can happen within you. John Maxwell emphasizes that intentional people schedule reflection. They don't wait for insight to appear randomly. They create space for thinking, reviewing, and evaluating. Daily reflection builds awareness. Weekly reflection builds perspective. Long-term reflection builds wisdom. Reflection is not overthinking. It is not reliving pain without purpose. Healthy reflection extracts meaning and then moves forward. Reflection without action leads to stagnation. Action without reflection leads to repetition. Growth requires both. This law also teaches that pain can be a teacher, but only if you listen. Difficult experiences can either harden you or shape you. Reflection determines which one happens. When you reflect, pain becomes information instead of identity. Another benefit of reflection is clarity. When life feels confusing or overwhelming, reflection organizes your thoughts. It helps you separate what matters from what doesn't. It simplifies decisions and restores focus. Reflection also strengthens leadership. Leaders who reflect learn from feedback, adjust strategies, and grow wiser over time. Leaders who don't reflect repeat mistakes and blame others. The difference is humility and awareness. The law of reflection challenges the belief that constant motion equals progress. It reminds us that depth matters more than speed, and wisdom matters more than activity. Growth is not about doing more, it's about understanding more. As reflection becomes a habit, life becomes intentional. You stop reacting blindly. You start responding thoughtfully. You don't just live through experiences, you learn from them. At its core, this law asks a powerful question. Are you learning from your life, or are you just living it? Because the answer to that question determines the depth of your growth. Experience gives you raw material. Reflection turns it into wisdom, and wisdom is what transforms a life. Growth doesn't require rushing forward. Sometimes, it simply requires stopping long enough to understand where you are, how you got here, and where you truly want to go.